2100 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The foreign minister is in Iran as part of Pakistan's diplomatic efforts to diffuse tensions in the Middle East. The special assistant on information says the government is committed to provide conducive environment to the corporate sector. The Minister for Economic Affairs says investment in the country has increased by 78% due to the government's prudent policies. The American Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia has expressed deep concern over the continued detention of political leaders and imposition of restrictions in occupied Kashmir. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in the fresh act of state terrorism martyred 3 more Kashmiri youths in Pulwama district today. China says it will not change its stance on One China principle after the presidential election in Taiwan. And now the news in detail. The Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi has arrived in Tehran. He was warmly received at the Mehrabad airport by the Director General of the Iranian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sayyid Rasool Musafi, Shahdat Affair of Pakistan Embassy in Tehran, Sayyid Fawad Bashir, and other officials. The Foreign Minister will meet the Iranian leadership in Tehran. He will present Pakistan's stance on Iran-US tensions and peace situation in the Middle East before the Iranian leadership. The Foreign Minister's visit is being given special importance in the context of tense regional situation. A protest gathering against the assassination of the Iranian General Qasem Soleimani was held in Islamabad today. Renowned religious scholars from various sects, political leaders, and members of the civil society participated in the rally. On the occasion, the speakers stressed for unity among the Muslim Ummah for peace and prosperity of the Islamic countries. They expressed the deep concern of the prevailing situation in Middle East, which poses a threat to regional peace and stability. They expressed the confidence in the concerted efforts of the Pakistan government and all concerned countries and hope that they would devise a peaceful resolution of the ongoing crisis. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashik Awan, says the government is committed to provide a conducive environment for the corporate sector in the country. Addressing a ceremony in Islamabad today, she said the government is focusing on exploration and production to achieve self-reliance in petroleum production. She said the government has introduced a comprehensive policy to increase production of natural gas in the country. Firdaus Ashik Awan said Prime Minister Imran Khan's vision is to provide corporate-friendly environment in the country. The Special Assistant said investment in petroleum production will create job opportunities and reduce prices. The Minister for Economic Affairs, Hamad Asar, has said investment in the country has increased by 78% because of the prudent policies of the government. Addressing a function in Lahore today, he said the government has taken major and difficult decisions for economic stability in the country. He said steps are also being taken to reduce burden of prices of electricity and gas on the common man. Hamad Azhar said 2019 was the year of economic stability and 2020 will be the year of progress and prosperity of the country. He said the state entities in the country needs restructuring for their better performance. Muttahida Qawmi Movement Pakistan convener Dr. Khalid Maqbool Siddiqui has announced to quit as Federal Minister for Information Technology. Addressing a news conference in Karachi today, he said his party would continue cooperating with the ruling Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf government. Meanwhile, talking to a private television channel today, Dr. Firdaus Ashik Awan said the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf-led government will address all the grievances of its ally MQM Pakistan regarding issues of the Karachi city. She said the government is aware of the problems being faced by the people of Karachi, and the Prime Minister Imran Khan is committed to bring the metropolis at par with other developed cities of the world. On the directives of the Special Assistant to the Prime Minister for Overseas Pakistani Syed Zulfikar Abbas Bukhari, 9 Pakistanis who got stuck in Saudi Arabia have been repatriated. These Pakistanis were in Saudi Arabia to perform Umrah and were stranded in Jeddah as the passports were taken away by the hotel agent who later went missing. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees has launched a project to provide livelihood opportunities to both Afghan refugees and Pakistani communities. A spokesman of the UNHCR in Peshawar told our correspondent that a memorandum of understanding has been signed to this effect between the United Nations agency and Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund. The project will help 3,000 households in Mansehra, in Peshawar, in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Chaghi in Balochistan. This is Radio Pakistan. The American Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asia, Alice G. Wells, has expressed deep concern over the continued detention of political leaders and imposition of restrictions on internet services in occupied Jammu and Kashmir. She expressed the concern in a tweet in Washington. Prime Minister Azad Jammu and Kashmir Raja Farooq Haider Khan has strongly condemned the Indian Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Narwane's recent provocative statement about Azad Jammu and Kashmir. In a statement in Muzaffarabad, he said Kashmiris living in Azad Kashmir stand shoulder to shoulder with their valiant armed forces and are ready to respond befittingly to any Indian misadventure from across the line of control. The Azad Jammu Kashmir Prime Minister said coward Indian Army, which cannot even face the stones of our Kashmiri brethren, does not have the courage to cast an evil eye on Azad Kashmir and cross the line of control. An all-parties conference comprising political parties of Azad Jammu and Kashmir will be held in Islamabad tomorrow to review the latest situation in occupied Kashmir, Indian threats on line of control, and ponder over the future line of action in this connection. The President Azad Kashmir Sardar Masood Khan, Prime Minister Raja Farooq Haider Khan, Opposition leader in AJK Legislative Assembly Chaudhry Mohammad Yassin, and leaders of other political parties will participate in the conference. In occupied Kashmir, the Indian troops in the fresh act of state terrorism martyred 3 more Kashmiri youths in Pulwama district today. According to Kashmir Media Service, the youths were killed by the troops during a cordon search operation in Gulshanpura area of Taral district. Meanwhile, the people in occupied Kashmir continue to face hardships on the 161st consecutive day of military siege and lockdown today. Amid shivering cold, the residents complain of acute shortage of daily commodities, particularly in the Kashmir Valley and the Muslim majority areas of Jammu region. In Iran, protesters and newspapers piled pressure on the country's leadership in Tehran today after the military admitted that it had mistakenly shot down a Ukrainian airliner. Riot police fired tear gas on thousands of demonstrators who took to the streets in Tehran and other cities of the country. China says it will not change its position on Taiwan after President Tsai Ing-wen won the re-election. China's foreign ministry said in a statement that Beijing will not change its stance on the One China principle, and Taiwan, as part of it, will not change. And finally, the weather. Widespread rain is expected in Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir, while at scattered places in districts of Sindh and Punjab, including Islamabad, during the next 12 hours. Snowfall and heavy rain is also expected in hilly areas of Balochistan, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan, and Kashmir. To end the news, here once again are some of the headlines. The foreign minister is in Iran as part of Pakistan's diplomatic efforts to diffuse tensions in the Middle East. The Special Assistant on Information says the government is committed to provide conducive environment to the corporate sector. The Minister for Economic Affairs says investment in the country has increased by 78% due to the government's prudent policies. Those were some of the headlines, and that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.